Okay, what we're going to do here is a little bit of trading on our own. We'll talk about some different concepts. But let's go back through this morning's lecture. We happen to have clack up here on the screen. So let's go up here and we'll pretend it is 4-8. So the first thing we did this morning is we wanted to locate ourselves some support and resistance lines. Certainly the high of the day on 4-8 would have been a major resistance line. Again, if we look through here, we can start to pick up some guys that have some fair credibility. And if you look right in through here, I see these lows right in through here, which also happens to be that high. Okay, so now remember, we can't see 412. All right, we're just drawing out here into the future. So how about this little low in through here? Does that pick up anything significant? And that's how you want to do this. Just find a high or a low and then draw across. Remember, you can always erase these lines. Okay? But as it turns out, we start to see that it picks up right in here at these little highs. I missed by a hair. And of course, we can always move this thing down just a little bit like that, picking up this low, and now it's picking up these highs. So that's a pretty good line, huh? How about in through here? Do I see any congestion or stuff? Yeah, there's a couple of lows right in through here. So we can once again go back in here and again, if I miss horribly, I still have the option of moving the lines. So I can always go like that, okay? And actually, I kind of like that one now that I drew it. Yeah. Because I get this guy here and this guy here, alrighty, and that picks up these tops right in here, okay? Right up in here? Want to go up in here? I didn't. That's a good line. And I didn't leave it. I just missed it. And I have no problem with that. Actually, I'd bring that one down just a little bit right at that 52.80. Okay. And of course, we can throw a couple more in here. Okay, gang, let's go out and do a little trading on our own, and let's just do some setups here. And what do I have? Well, let's just use this one. We got clack right here, okay? And I've got it on a 2-day, 1 minute. Now, what we need to do is we're going to have to plan for tomorrow. So we're going to have to play pretend a little bit here. So we're only going to look at the one on the left side, the 721, and we need to go in and pop in some lines, okay? Now, again, we can see certainly the high of the day is going to be an important line, so we can put that in. Now, notice that that's right there at the 42, okay? Right at a round number. And of course, I can probably find some other ones in here. How about this little high right here? Now, I don't want to take this really exotic shadow, but let's go in and pop in a couple more lines and start getting them going. Remember, this is just a job of testing. You can always go in and move them around and find out. If you don't like them later, erase them, okay? But you got to start seeing these guys. Now, how about this little low down here? What if I were to go down here into the whiskers a little bit? Okay, and we'll pop on that line. And you can see, guys, by me choosing the very ends of this, I'm not really picking up the majority of the trades like we talked about. So can I move this? Well, let's move it up just a hair. Okay, let me grab a hold of this. We're just going to move it up to the kind of that low there. Now suddenly we're picking up even a little higher. Let's just go up another penny or two here. Okay. So now we see we got this low in here, and we got these little tops in here and this guy, and here's where that stopped, that breakout during the middle of the day. Okay. I'm sure you guys can all see that we have a nice downtrend in here. And if I were just to connect from the lower highs, interestingly, well, we'll go into, we're not supposed to because we can't see it yet, but let's play pretend here and just put it out into the future. Can you see where this was resistance in here? It came back and found support along it for the second half of the day. Okay. Yeah. Now we could draw another one in here, but let's just work with horizontals for a moment. Let's find out some more. How about this low right in here? Sure, why not? All the lines that you see are good lines, and it turns out interesting. I pick up here, the congestion here, this little top here, this one here, the shoulders in here. Okay, certainly we need to go in and put in the low of the day. Huh? How about that? Oops, hang on a second there, guys. Price line, there we go, and we get a low of the day in here. I see a little something going on right along here around the 40-50 line, so let's pop that one in. And how about these little highs up and through here? Yeah, I like those too. So it doesn't matter if the lines are really close together. It may confuse the issue if you have too many lines, because then you're going to have to be making decisions. They are now becoming part of our plan. Remember, you can't draw a line without sticking some sort of a rule on it. And how about these lows right in here? Very good. Now let's work our plan. Okay, now we can look at 722, and as the market opens here, we can see clearly that we have one S1 below us, and maybe I could pop one in here, certainly right at the $40 line, so we have a couple more. Let's put one more in there. Okay, so here's where the opening is, right there. Everybody see that? And the market rallies up. Now we're going to give it the first few minutes to get out of this thing. So somewhere in this neck of the woods, we could place a buy. But this tells us also what? We're starting to approach the 10 o'clock first reversal. So if we're going to go long in here, we have to expect it to retrace against us. We could also play this a different way. Could we let it go up above this line at the 40.95 or almost the 41 line, okay, and say, well, at plus or minus 5 minutes to 10, we would go short if it breaks down, or we go long if it bounces off. Well, let's put a crosshair on this and have a quick look. And here is 950, here's 953, here's 955. Can everybody see that at 955 it has opened and closed just underneath our line? So we might wish to take a short right here. Okay, well, what would be our first goal? Well, the next line. So if we got short in this neck of the woods here, our first goal would be right here. That would be the next support line. Okay, and that would yield us somewhere around a 25-30 cent winner. Not bad. If it went through, okay, it retraces. It doesn't retrace very strongly. If it goes through this, could I add to my short or open another short? Absolutely. Then we'd be heading for this line. Okay. I'm sorry, what number? Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Very good. Good shot, guys. How about this one right in here? Would you like that line? Okay, let's pop that in. Hang on a second. We'll pop that in. It was right on these tops in here. Now, it's a good line, okay, but if we're getting short up in here, okay, it's cut down our profitability, huh? Because we've added another stop, another little test that we have to get through. As we can see, the day has started to fall off. So now I can start adding trend lines to it. Are you ready? And I can see that I have a series of lower highs, and perhaps we're going to draw in through here like this, the first line. Okay, and then we see the thing going sideways, but it's based on what happened yesterday, our support and resistance lines. Okay, and we keep seeing it's coming up in here. Now that I know this, and now that we're trading today, okay, can I come in here and put another line in through here like this, defining these little tops? Oops, I missed a little. It's all right. Once again, we can always move it. Okay, we just bring it down a little bit. There we go. So now we're picking up these tops here, 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 and here. Okay. Notice that this high is higher than this one. So now I can go back up here and draw another declining top. Very good. So now we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. We can go in here and put in our lows for the day so far. That's going to be one of our new lines, alrighty, right through here in 39.74. So as I approach up here, you can see if you look at the hard right edge, you can see that price is stalled right here, right at the $40. It's actually 40.01 right now. So it's feeling that round number as a resistance line. It's just a hair over it at 40.02. The question is will it hold? So if I come up here to 40.03 or 4, where my angled line is, we can get short, and we'll do that in just a second. Now, our first trade isn't going to be worth much, huh? Because if we're aiming for this 89, we only got a 10-cent trade in here. But if we see some weakness in the other parts of the market, and we'll check that in a moment, we may be able to get all the way down here to 39.74. Now, guys, we started this thing with only a couple of support lines below us, and we had a lot of resistance above us, okay? Could we go back in time and find additional lines that would be support lines? And the answer, of course, is yes, okay? If it's relevant to our stock, we can go back. Let's do that for just a second. And I don't know, let's just go back 5 days and see what we can find. So here are all our lines. Now, isn't it interesting that we can see on the right edge over here at 722, the low of the day, if we go back, and you see on the 19th it was the opening price, and on the 16th over here it was a turning price. It wasn't the low of the day. But certainly that helps us, doesn't it? Can we not go in here now and put in another one? A price line there, and certainly it looks like one right through here, huh? Everybody like this one? Good. Okay, now let's go back into the closer up look and see what's going on. This may be, these guys, ones we just drew, may be off the chart because the scale's going to change as we go back to a 2-day. Okay, so one of them is still here, this 39.66, which might be a target on a weekday, and we know there's another one even further down, and as price falls, it'll come into view, okay? Or we can go back and check it and find out what the number on it was, okay? And what was the number? Let's just do it. So that was 5 days. Go back here. So we want to mark down $39.34, okay? So that would be our other target below the 66. Well, that'd be a nice winner, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can get there or not. Okay, back to the 2-day. So now what has happened? Oh, we lost our downtrend line. You can see that as we look in here, we have not been able to hold the $40.01, 2 cents, and me beating my gums here. We haven't missed our opportunity, but we should have gotten short somewhere right around the 98 or 97. Okay, let's go to the platform, and you can see that we're on a downtick. Let's go ahead and just sell. Oh, wow, it's dropping down real fast now. Now our first target's 89, so this may not be too much fun. But let's see if we can get short. I'm just going to go in there with a market order. You can see here's our box warning us on a short. Okay, so I'm just going to say yes. Now we're attempting to get short. Okay, and you can see our order down here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get short. We got it. Okay, so now next question is where is our stop loss? Alrighty, so we're short in here at about 91. And let's go in even closer. Let's turn this thing off of. So we're short in here at around 91, okay? And we're hoping to get through this 89, shooting for a 74 or lower, okay? So where's going to be our stop loss? Well, how about above this $40.22? So 40.03 is going to be our stop, okay? Now, I told you we were a little late getting in this, and we're feeling some support along this line that we've already drawn. That figures. The question is the market overall weak enough to push us through this 89, and then we'll be off to the races heading lower. Let's take a look at our other things. Okay, as you can see up here, the Dow Jones is down 50, 53, 54. The S&Ps are off $1.25. Composites down 6. What's our trend? Trend is a mild bear at 1.1. Not really a strong bear, but it's more negative than it is positive. And our tick is minus 228, also a mild bear. Okay, so we're in fair shape. Okay, let's go back to our chart. Well, we can look right here at the level 2. Again, what is our position down here in the bottom center? We're short minus 100 at 39.91. 90 is on the inside now. Just switch to 91 again on the inside ask. So we're 91 by 89. Okay, so if something happened, all of a sudden things started turning around, I can always buy the 91s back. Now what we need to do is place in our stop. So let's do that. Okay, we'll use a stop market, and our stop was what? It was $40.03. Okay, so now I sold short, so in order to close my position, I must do what? Buy long, right? So let's put that in. And now we can see my order down here in the bottom center. You can see, let me make it big, it'll jump up to the top. You can see we have a buy order, awaiting stop, 100 shares in CLAC, market triggered at 40.03, good for the day, in our route and our account. Okay, we can also see it on our chart. Let's blow this up big. And can you guys see it right here? It's the one with the S on it. Okay, it says 40.03. I can click on this, and now you can see the stop. Now later we may want to change this to a trailing stop once we're really profitable. Current price right now is 30.87, so we have broken the 89. This is a good thing. Now you can see we're going to have a little challenge, a very minor one. Let's not draw a line, let's just use the crosshairs. You see we're going to have a little minor challenge right here because of these wicks. Okay, and that's at about 86, maybe 85. So this is our next little challenge. It doesn't mean we have to get out. We just have to realize that we're going to find a hair of support. But where's the major support? Much lower down here in the 74 through 77 range. Okay, and that's what we kind of like to get a hold of. Now things moved against us. It's bounced below and closed below that resistance support line we drew there. And now it's just above at 91. So we're right back at even. Now it's going against us. Let's go and check the market and see if there's anything different. Okay, the tick was minus 228. It's now only minus 127. It's becoming less bearish. It's not bullish. It's becoming less bearish. On the other hand, trend was 1.10. It's now 1.17. Trend is becoming more bearish. Okay, so not exactly a conflict here. When we looked at the S&Ps, let me unhighlight that for you guys. Okay, when we looked at the S&Ps here, we were only down $1, $1.25, so the S&Ps are getting more down, more bearish. And we can see that in the chart in the bottom left here, it's starting to go in. So even though we're creeping up here, okay, that's why we have a stop loss at 40.03, okay, it still looks like we have a chance to go down further. Okay, so we have to give this time to work. People, this is what it's all about. You set up a plan based on what you know and what the overall market conditions are. Once the plan is set, you follow the plan. You don't sit there and say, well, okay, I'm not going to take a loss. You've got to let it go against you a little. You're not going to be perfectly right. But what is the overall trend? It's down. Let's have a look at this line here. Move that. Redraw this. So if we were to take these lower highs in through here, okay, oops. So I can't draw lines very well. What can I tell you? Let's extend it. There we go. Now you see how it came up towards our trend line, not towards this resistance up here at the 40, but to the resistance near our trend line, and it's turning around. It's going back in our favor again. Now it's trapped. It's trapped between the support at the 89 and our downward trend line. Is that a descending triangle? Well, we're going to talk a lot about descending triangles. So it's squeezing the buyers at the 89 area into a corner. The sellers are forcing it down with little lower highs, okay? And eventually the buyers have to really rally and say, we're holding the line, and repel the sellers, or the sellers are going to win and break through this 89. And where are we? Right there at the 89. Yeah, and again, I've got to be willing to lose this much money up to the $40.03 on our stop, because that's my plan. Now that I have a plan, I must follow it. Well, okay, not stupidly. Obviously, if, President George W. comes out and says, I'm going to give every man, woman, and child $1 million if they invest in this stock today, it would go up, and I would try to get out as fast as I heard that news. But according to the plan, this little jiggy back and forth, okay, is what it's all about. Let's go back and look at the level 2. Okay. Now again, we're short at 91. We can buy back the 89s from the willing sellers on the ask right now. There's only 200 shares at 88. Okay. We're trading through them. We're hitting under 86s. You see that? Okay, now we're back to the 87s. Some more people have joined. But we were trading around those guys because they weren't buying it fast enough. So you see where we went to the oranges in here? Okay, so they're trading below the market. Alrighty, so we're up $4. We can't sit here and watch this all day long. I'd love to show you guys how this is going to work. But we're getting to a point now where we have to get back to our lectures, and I want you, or excuse me, we got to get you guys trading here because it's that time of the day. So again, let's take a quick look at our plan. And, oops, hang on a second. I want to go back to the 2-day, or to the full view here. You can see how we had, here was that original line I drew off of these tops, and then I drew this other little one in here. So we're clearly below trend. We're certainly on a downtrend. We'd like to get down to the lows of the day around 74. This might happen. It might not. Okay. Right now we seem to be making a little money. It's down at the 88s. Alrighty. Now we've got we're up $3. This isn't really truly profitable, but if you'd like, I can put on a trailing stop for you and we can play that game. Let's set that, and then we'll get you guys trading, and let's just see what happens with this trade. Okay, how do I set a trailing stop? Okay, well, first off, I have to cancel my stop market that we already have in here. So I'm going to cancel that, click, and that's gone. So now I put in a trail stop. I open up order type and select trail, and now I want to trail above my ask price. So let's just put in here, we'll put in a nickel. Okay, so now we're effectively getting out at what? If it goes up, we'll be getting out at $39.95. Now I know this is going against the plan I said at 40.02, but I want to show you how a trailer works. Okay, so if the thing goes down, it'll follow me down. If the thing goes up, it'll stop me out at $30.90. Well, now it'll do it at 94, because it'll be a nickel above the inside ask. And I'm going to do what? Yeah, I'm going to buy. So let's put that stop on. Okay, and again, I'm going to blow up our open orders down here so you can see it. We have a buy waiting stop for 100 shares trailing, and it's already trailed us down to 92. Okay, so one more penny and we'll be at break even. Why? Because the price has dropped to 87. Okay, so now it's going to get me out here at 92. We can see this on our chart. And where's our stop? It's real tight in here. Let me move it across. Can you see it in there? Okay, our stop is now $39.89. Wow, we may get stopped out here. Okay, no 89s have printed. Now, remember, on this platform, all the conditional orders are executed off of a print. So if we get an 89 print, we're just about ready to do that, I think, and we're going to get stopped out. Well, at least you guys got to see it. It trailed us down from 94 down to 92. There's an 89 print. We should be buying cover here. Okay, we're out. Okay, so that's how a trailing stop works. Okay, it opens a market order and gets us out. Alrighty, guys. Now here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to log on to your platforms. I want you to go out and I want you to draw some lines. I want you to set up a plan, write down some numbers. You don't have to put as many lines as I have on there, but I want you to find at least 2 or 3 resistance lines above current price, 2 or 3 support lines below current price, and draw in an overall trend line. Let's see if we can just do some really simple trade planning here. I don't care what stock you play. I want it to be a good stock, above 15 bucks with some fair share size. You know, at this point in the day, you should have at least 1 million shares up there in the volume box. Any questions so far? Okay, let's get to it. Okay, again, people, my intent here is not to try to turn you into high-speed traders, but I want to show you some of the different thought patterns. What we're going to look at is what we call relativistic trading, and hang on a second while I put up this other platform, okay, and you'll get an idea of what we're talking about real fast. Now, there's a couple of caveats to all this. If you look right here in the top center, you see where it says composite is plus 7.49. To really do this well, we need the composite to be at least up 15 points or down 15 points for this to work really well. But let's see what we can do here. You'll notice that on the right-hand side over here, we have the composite chart up. It's on a 1 minute, okay? Notice that the close-up has been, or the zoom in is turned off, okay? So all we're looking at is the last couple of hours here on a line close only, okay? Right below it, we have a matching chart, okay? So that the, hang on a second here, guys. There we go. We're going to make sure that our timelines are lined up nice and perfect. Now there's a list of stocks here. What we're going to do is go through these and we're looking for divergence. If the comp is going up, we want to see the stock going flat or down. Again, why? Well, we know the old adage, okay, if a stock does not want to go up, it must want to go down. And if a stock does not want to go down, then it must wish to go up. So by looking at these quickly, we can scale through and find out possible turnaround candidates. For instance, as we look here, we see the NASDAQ composite is going up, and of course LLTC down here is going up. So, well, we already know that. Okay, what we're looking for is a difference. So let's try Applied Materials. Now it looks pretty much like the composite as well, so that's not going to help us. Now this one's a little bit more interesting. We can see that it went up earlier than the composite did, but it's flattening out right here. So this may be a possible short, okay? If all of a sudden the composite were to start heading back down strongly, then we might want to take this one short. Why? Because it doesn't want to go up right now. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, let's just scroll through these and have a look and see what we can find. Okay, here's Bed Bath & Beyond. It's topping out a little bit, but it looks pretty much the same. Okay, how about Chiron? It's still going up fairly strong in tandem with it. Comcast, okay. Now here's another one. We start to see a little bit of turn down in the comp. It looks like this thing might be able to fall off and come back. Alrighty. How about Dell? No, Dell looks like it's correlated. eBay. eBay had earnings recently, last night, and you can see it followed it up. It looks like it's reaching some sort of a top in here. Here's Jen's. Again, it follows the comp pretty close. You can see we're starting to bend over. Again, what we want to do is find a clear example, and I'm not finding one, so let me go through these a little faster. Wow, not much is going in the other direction. Okay, here's one that's not bad, Starbucks. Okay, it's showing that it was not as strong as the composite from 1400 to 1415. Okay, so we're starting to get a little turn down here. Perhaps we can go over here to Starbucks and get short. We're on an uptick. Okay, let's see if we can get short in here. Okay, we have the thing short at 47.50. Can you see it up here in the upper left? Now, notice the boxes have been moved around. This is just a style. So we found a stock that didn't want to go up. The composite was starting to turn down. We took a short based on that. We're up $2. Now, guys, again, I'm not trying to make a case for making $2 trades. We're looking for his opportunity, okay? Now, we can hold this for a little bit because if the comp goes up, the stock should not go up much above this 49.50, okay? We go in here and measure it and see that about 51, okay, is the recent high. But if you look over here at the level 2, look what the high of the day was. It was a 52-week high at 47.75. So we've got to draw a line in the sand about how much we're going to let this go against us. Alrighty? Again, what we want to see is the composite fall down and expect this to fall down. What's happening? Well, it's actually starting to go up a little bit. So that's not a good thing. Okay? Now, we're short at the 50, okay? And the thing is printing 53s. So we're losing a couple of $3 on this. Starbucks is going back up. Okay, so I'm going to say this nickel is my loser on this, and I'm going to buy this back. You ready? Let's take a look at a couple of others in here. Now, here's a good one. Okay, you can see that how weak this was. It did rally with the comp a little bit, but it really fell off. Again, if we were to see a big downturn in this, we'd want to get short in it. Well, we can't get short in that, so. This one is in between. Again, it's starting to lack its movement in here. So this was just a list of stocks. Here's one that certainly is topped out already, but it's not really weak, is it? So what was the very first one we looked at? Was that Applied Materials? Let's go back to that. No, it wasn't Applied Materials. How about Amgen? Yeah. Here's Amgen. Now, did you see where this thing broke? We should have just stuck with this one. See how fast it fell off into here? Okay. So again, what we're looking for is if the composite goes up, we'd expect Amgen to go flat to sideways. But if the composite starts to show some weakness, we'd expect this stock to come down quickly. Okay, so let's just watch for a moment and see if we can find some weakness. The comp is kind of going sideways. We're in the closing part of the trading day. We might see a little action. But you guys already know that today was a down day and it turned around and we're rallying. So we may not be able to get this guy short. Any questions so far? Yes, of course. We're working on a 1 minute on the last hour chart. So this would be a high-speed momentum trade. That's what I said at the beginning of all this. I'm not here, guys, trying to talk you into being high-speed traders. But on the other hand, you're only here for a week, so I can't set up a 2-week swing trade for you unless you all want to fly back in and join the class again, okay? So, again, we didn't find too many in here. No, it wasn't LLTC. Starbucks, okay? So here we are at Starbucks again. This one had broken out a little bit. We got out of it at about 55, and you can see it's starting to weaken here. Comp is rolling over just a little bit. Let's see what we can do with Amgen in here. Let's go 100 short. No, comp's twitching back up. Okay, guys, I'm not going to take this. We've moved from 7.5 up to 832. Is there anybody who does not understand the concept? Again, what we're looking for is a comparison, but a divergent comparison. If the comp is going up and the stock is not, then it would probably be a possible short. If the comp were going down strongly and the stock were not going down, then it might be a strong stock, and a turnaround in the composite might indicate a possible long. Does all this make sense? Very good.